Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Monday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, today, this video, it's about, if I came across a news story this morning, it's on TMZ. As usual, the links will be right down below. And it's about a so-called Good Samaritan. Kind of, in my opinion, sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. And as usual, it reminded me of an incident that occurred in my life, and I'm going to talk about that. And also, it reminds me, I see this theme lately with the TV show I've been watching. So I'm going to talk about all this. Let me talk about the incident first. Like the article will be right down below. Let me talk about this first. This was in North Carolina, and the video, like you watch the actual video of this happening, and it's graphic. It's startling. It's jarring to watch this because a person actually loses his life in this video. This Good Samaritan, he's wearing an orange safety vest, and the video opens up where he's talking to a tow truck. There's somebody inside a tow truck, and apparently this tow truck is being carjacked or tow truck jacked. And the Good Samaritan is wearing an orange vest standing outside of the tow truck, and he's arguing with somebody inside the truck. You hear shots ring out, and you see the apparently both of them have firearms now, and you see the guy in the orange vest, kind of the Good Samaritan, kind of dodge around, and the tow truck goes in reverse. It just speeds backwards away from the so-called Good Samaritan, and people are kind of milling around talking the Good Samaritan, and then all of a sudden, apparently, the tow truck from about a couple hundred feet away just floors it and comes flying in, and the so-called Good Samaritan in his orange safety vest does not have time to get out of the way, and he's mowed down and is no longer living. It's a jarring video, and this reminded me of a couple things. This is the news story that I picked to talk about today. Let me talk about this really quick. I've been clean and sober since October 23rd of 2006. I was a full-blown heroin, crack, cocaine addict every single day. And my weeks, every weekend would be me going out to different bars. I was associated with motorcycle clubs or gangs. I wasn't in them, me and my friends, but we were, after the bars closed, we would go to these after-hours clubs that were open until dawn the next day, usually on Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. We'd go to these so-called after-hours clubs where there was plenty of drugs and alcohol until the sun came up. And these clubs were owned by gangs, the Diablos, the Compadres, HA, the Outlaws, so on and so forth. And we were associated. We were associated. We weren't in the fact that we would patronize these clubs. We got to be associated with certain groups, and that ran into trouble for us. Another thing this video reminds me of, I've talked about this. Let me just talk about this really quick. Like I said, I exercise every day, and I'm on the treadmill. And I'm on the treadmill for 70 minutes every day. So usually I watch different TV shows on my phone to keep my mind busy while I'm on the treadmill. And I've been watching my A&E app lately, A&E. And there's a show on there called Accused, Guilty or Innocent. And I've watched about 5, 6, 7, 8 of these shows so far. And every single one of these shows, usually so far, it shows a person that's accused of a crime facing a lot of jail time, and it shows the actual court case, and every single one involves a person with a firearm pulling it out and trying to take the law into their own hands. Almost every single episode. There's a guy on the road, he sees the car in front of him tailgating a motorcycle, so he gets involved in it, and he ends up shooting out the back tire of the car. And it's just one after the other of people getting involved. And it makes me wonder if people having these firearms, I grew up with firearms. My father had a collection, and I grew up shooting since I was 5 years old. But those firearms stayed in the house. We didn't carry them outside. They were for hunting and home protection. And it makes me wonder, like this stand your ground law. A lot of these incidents are like a landlord busting into his tenant's trailer armed, and ends up killing the tenant over rent And he's using his stand the ground law because he says the guy came at him with a machete. This story after story like this. And it really makes me wonder about firearms. All right, so this story also, it reminds me of an incident that happened. My friend's car, a BMW, the weekend before, he went to a bar, and it's associated with motorcycle clubs. And this happened 20 years ago, back when I was using. This was a bar called the Pewter Mug in Waterbury, Connecticut. I'm sure it's closed by now. I think it doesn't even exist. And his car got vandalized. The rear view mirrors, the antenna got bent, and all this other stuff. And so me and two other friends went to that bar the next weekend, and we knew this bar was associated with other clubs and places we really shouldn't be. And we went there the next weekend looking for retribution to help our buddy out, because it's over a thing like the reason it reminded me of this story is because this guy ended up losing his life over a tow truck. His wife, his kids are without a father, without a husband, over a rusty old tow truck. Was it worth it? Was any of this worth it? It reminded me of this incident where my friends, we went back to this bar, and the same thing could have happened to me over a couple rear view mirrors and an antenna. So we go to this bar, me and my friends. And as soon as we walk in, we are unwelcome. And we ordered our beers. I end up going to the bathroom. And I go into the bathroom. I'm at the urinal, and I'm going and everything. And a guy comes in, and I'm wearing a shirt. This is back in the late 80s, early 90s, and it says "Bad Boy" on it. All right, this is the fad back then. And the guy, I finish up, and the guy comes up to me and he says, "What do you think you're a bad boy? Do you think you're bad?" And I kid around. I brush it off at first. I was like, "It's just a shirt." I said, "My girl bought it for me." And he goes, "Oh, you wear everything your girlfriend buys for you? Is that the kind of guy?" So no matter what I say, this guy's looking for trouble. So I hit him in the stomach, and he doubles over. So I think it's over, and I start to go walk out of the bathroom, and he pops back up, and he pulls out a little snub-nosed weapon, and he's been drinking, and he pulls it out, and he goes to point it at me, and he drops it. He drops it on the floor of the bathroom, and I just instinctively pick it up. Now I'm holding this thing in my hands, and I didn't plan any of this. All of a sudden, all of this happened like in a couple seconds. I never planned any of this. Now the guy's up against the wall, and he's looking scared because I just picked up what he dropped. And I tell him, I say, if you ever pull a gun on somebody, you should use it. That's the stupid thing I actually said to this guy. And I put it in my jacket, my leather pocket, and I walked out of the bathroom with it. I was going to give it back to him because the way he was so scared, I realized, this gun's loaded and everything, because he wouldn't be so scared. I'm not going to give it back to him, so I put it in my pocket, my leather jacket. I go to my friends at the bar, and I said, "We got to get out of here. We got to get out of here right now." So we all walk, we leave our beers on the bar, and we go out to the car. The BMW parked right on the street, because he's not parking in the parking lot where he got his car wrecked the week before. It's right out in front of the bar. We all hop in the car, and there's a sunroof in the BMW, and I'm sitting in the back seat. My friend's sitting in the front seat, and the driver. And my friend's trying to start the car, and all the guys come running out of the bar. And I get the brilliant idea to stick myself out of the sunroof. Because I feel like we're running away and we're kind of cowardly. So I stick my head out of the sunroof. So I'm out of the sunroof from here up. And I'm going, "F you," and I'm cursing at him. And I'm waiting for my friend to hit the gas, because the car is just about to start up. And in my mind, I'm like, we're going to drive away, and I'm going to be, laughing at him. And the car doesn't start. These guys surround the car. There's like two guys on one side, two guys on the other side. And now I took their weapon, but they're swinging at me. And they're swinging, and I'm trying to defend myself, sticking out of the sunroof of a BMW. And I can't move. I'm a big guy. I can't move from the waist down. And I'm trying to duck punches as I'm being swung at from both sides of the car. And I'm getting hit. I'm getting hit in the back of the head. I'm getting hit on this side and that side. And I'm trying to duck, And I don't have the time to go back down through the sunroof, because I know I'm going to keep getting hit, because I'm trying to defend myself. And I'm like, dude, now would be a good time to hit the gas and get out of here, to get the car going. I'm getting beat up here. And I just keep getting pummeled from, I'm like one of those punching dolls, one of those punching blow up clowns from the 60s. You just punch and it goes down. And so these guys are on either side of the car just hitting me from side to side. And I'm trying to, for every punch I block, I'm getting hit with 3 others. Finally, he starts the car up and drives away. Next day, I have welts all over my head. The thing I took away from the piece that I took away from the guy in the bathroom, we ended up tossing right over a bridge, off a bridge into a river, and I don't even remember where, and I don't ever want to remember again. This happened all because I stuck my nose where it didn't belong, over stupid rear view mirrors and an antenna on a car, my friend's car getting vandalized. And this is what it turned into, a life or death situation. And the thing of the incident in the bathroom, and then the following, what led into the incident out in the street where I got pummeled by 4 guys with my head stuck out of the BMW like an idiot. Sticking my nose where it doesn't belong over something ridiculous, like parts on a car or a car. That's what this video reminded me of. I've been clean and sober since October 23rd of 2006, and thankfully, miraculously, none of this stuff has ever happened in the last 17 and a half years. It kind of makes me think it all happened because I used to be drinking and using and putting myself in bad situations. I'm not saying this guy in the video, this Good Samaritan's doing that, but that's what I did. All right, I hope this made some sense. Like I said, I've been watching these shows on A&E. It's called Accused, Guilty, or Innocent. You'll see what I'm talking about if you watch it. There's an app on the Play stores. All right, you guys, I'll be back later. Have a good Monday.